Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Alex, the Comic Quarter. Thank you so much for clicking play on this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about ways to stay safe when you are buying a big comic book from somebody on the internet that you don't know. And you can learn from experience that I just had recently where I took some precautions to ensure that I wouldn't get taken advantage of. So once again, thank you for clicking play on this video. Here we go. In the last several years, I've wanted a Wonder Comics 15. It's a great Alex Schomburg cover, and it's a very, very classic cover. It's also the first appearance of Tara the Pirate. And I've got 16 through 20, which continues her run, and she's on the cover of all of those. But I don't have the first appearance. It's a book that I've wanted for quite some time now to complete that Tara the Pirate run. I recently found one, and the seller and I made contact. We had a lot of small talk here and there, a lot of conversation about him selling the book outright to me, and then he offered to do a cash plus trade, which is always great because I love cash plus trades because I don't have to spend as much cash up front. So the book was listed for, I believe, $2,300, and we agreed on $1,550 in cash and $1,000 in trade. So I said I would trade over the value. So we were going for about a $2,550 trade value, or total value for the book. I still think that would have been a great deal, considering that this book doesn't often come up that much. Now, one did sell, I believe, last year for a 7.0. For that price. This was a 4.0 copy. I think it's still a nice copy. They just don't come up all that often, so I wanted to try and snag this one up while I could. Everything seemed like it was going great. He was very eager to make a deal. That's not necessarily a bad thing. He would always answer my texts. He would always ask me how I'm doing as far as like how much money I've raised. I did a comic book sale at a con a couple weeks ago, and so I raised some money there to go towards this book. And then I did an online sale, so I was ready to go. I'm now in the position where I'm ready to go. And just yesterday, we talked about let's do the deal. But I still had some precautions. I don't know this person. I asked for the PayPal address, and the first kind of red flag was he gave me a PayPal email that didn't match his name. So that's red flag number one. And he said it was his wife, but it still didn't match his last name. So I don't know this person. I've never met this person in real life. And so I just decided that, okay, we're still going to go forward, but because you gave me an email that doesn't match your name or your last name, I'm going to take some precautions. I would be sending over $1,550. Instead of sending it friends and family, I decided I was going to send it goods and services. So I added 3% to make sure that he got the net of $1,550. He got a little bit over that. And so I sent over the payment. I sent over the screenshots, and he said that he got the payment notification, but it was pending. So I said, okay, well, why is it pending? I used my PayPal balance. I was first looking at myself, like, is this something that I did? Is this something that was wrong with me? No, it was all due to their account. It said this is inconsistent with sales you've done in the past, or several different reasons why the money would be pending. And so I'm like, dang, I'm sorry. Maybe I can cancel it and then send it friends and family, which is don't do that. When something goes wrong with goods and services, don't just immediately assume cancel it and then send it the fraudulent way, the way that you could get scammed. So I'm glad we didn't do that. I just said, you know what? I'll go to bed frustrated that this didn't work out because he said he was going to send the book in the morning, and I'm going to go ahead and call PayPal in the morning. So I called them. I talked to two different people, and they said, oh, no problem. This is just set up for the safety of the buyer to make sure that you get your payment, because we're covering this. We need to just cover our tracks as well, since goods and services is protected under, their fraudulent, buyer protection. They said to just tell the seller, once they provide, and this should all this information should be in their email that they got saying that the payment was pending. It's in their account. It's just pending for them to send some trustworthy information. I went back to them and I said, you should have all this information on how to get that cleared up, and it's no problem. And the guy kept telling me, no, we'll just wait it out, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to call PayPal. I don't need to send them anything. I said, what do you mean? Like, we can get this cleared up right now. They just said all you need to do is provide a tracking information that's trackable and that you would be able to get your funds like pretty much immediately. So I'm not calling PayPal. I'm not calling PayPal. And I said to build, when you're buying something like this, where it's a $2,550 transaction, there needs to be trust on both sides. Number one, when you sent me an email address that didn't match your name, but yet I'm supposed to trust you, I decided that you're still going to get your money, but you're going to get goods and services, and I'm going to pay the fees. That was strike number one. I told him. Red flag number two is that you're not willing to take the one extra step that it takes to clear this money. He said, I'm not calling PayPal. This is an inconvenience. I'm not sending them a tracking information to let them know that I'm actually going to ship your comic book. So I understand that there are risks for sellers when you are selling a book and you have to provide shipping information. You have to ship the book to get your funds released out of this pending status. But I also do know too that, there's ways to protect yourself. If you have tracking information, and PayPal will see that tracking information, they will watch that tracking information and they'll know that you shipped the book and that I received the book. And if you also take pictures and videos of you packaging up the book, putting the tracking information on that package without any breaks or transitions or anything like that, they will see there's ways to defend yourself. Long story short, the seller just got irate with me that he would not be doing any extra steps, that he would not be doing any extra work to help me out in this and get these funds released. So he said, deal's off. Okay, deal's off. How? My money is still sitting in your account. My money is still sitting there pending, waiting for you to send me this book. So as of right now, $1,600 and whatever dollars is pending, just waiting for him to send me this book. He said, deal's off. So now I have to open up a ticket with PayPal, letting them know that the seller refused to take the one extra step to ensure that both parties were trustworthy. I'm not going to screw you over. I was like, I've got a decent reputation on here of not hurting people, of trying to do the right thing. I don't want my name to be dragged through the mud as someone who's going to get a book from you and then cancel the payment like it was fraudulent, like I never got it. Anyways, be careful when you are buying a book off of anybody online. Whether it's Instagram, whether it is Facebook Marketplace, whether it's eBay, whatever it is, make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Make sure that you're very clear that, hey, these are red flags that I just don't deal with. If you tell me that your name is Joe Johnson and then you give me Sarah Phillips' email address to send you $1,550 PayPal, that's a huge red flag. That's a no-go for me. No book is worth major red flags. So with a seller like this, it's better off to pass up on the opportunity to get a book that you may have wanted, to also save yourself from getting scammed and not letting this person, this potential scammer, win. It's not worth it. In my circumstance, in this situation, there were easy steps to get this resolved. I sent the money. It's clearly sitting in their account, and there are steps to take on their end. So I passed the ball to them, and now it's their turn to take the ball and run. And when they decided that those extra steps were out of line, they weren't willing to do those extra steps, it's game over. You can't fire me because I quit. So they're telling me the deal's off, but I had already quit. This deal is way off. You guys are, or at least this seller, I don't know who the other email address that he sent it to me, his business partner, his wife, his scamming buddy, I don't know. But when they told me that the deal was off, I was like, you didn't have to tell me that. The deal's off. So hopefully you guys learn from this. Make sure to just take care of yourself. We have an IG comic community. We have a YouTube comic community, but work with people who have good reputations, work with people who you can trust. Just recently bought a book from Sticky Goose Comics, got the book. It was wonderful. I've just recently sold a bunch of books. All the people so far have gotten their books, which is wonderful. If they didn't for some reason, I would make it right. Anyways, work with people you can trust. We do have a great community, but you still have to vet out some of these nasty, bad actors. This guy is bad news, and he's definitely a scammer in my book. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Take care, and I'll talk to you all on the next one. See ya. Bye.